on a tinny with the sun on our face, chasing that feeling all over the place. From the jetty to the ramp, we're the kings of the tide, with a beer in our hand and nowhere to hide. It's Terminal Banter, the fishing show. It's Terminal Banter, the fishing show.
G'day and welcome to episode 2 of Terminal Banter. Tonight we have with us the legendary Dunks. How's it going, Dunks?
G'day everyone, Dunks here. Hope everyone's doing well.
As you know, I'm RG and we've got a special guest who's going to join us for the whole night tonight, and that is Matt. How's it going, Matt?
G'day mate, it's going good here. How are you guys going?
Yeah, pretty good. So what we're going to do is we're going to start off, we're going to talk about what's actively going around at the moment, species-wise, what's being caught around locally, and what's slowed down. So we'll start with Adelaide because it starts with an A. The mullet run is going well here at the moment. Apparently there's quite a lot of yellow eye being caught. Schools of salmon are coming through. And the King George whiting are still out there as well. Looks like there's been a couple of nice mulloway caught at West Lakes. Over the Yorks, we've got the King George floating around. The salmon, the mullet are doing well, and apparently some flatheads are turning up over there as well, over in the peninsula. If we go over the ear on the west, the ear peninsula and the west coast. What have we got going on there? We've got the flathead over there. Apparently up to 70 centimetres have been caught, which is really good. Salmon are being smashed. Down Flurio and KI, we've got good salmon run. What have we got here? We've still got mullet running down low. The Coorong is fishing well for bream. I'll hope to get down there shortly. It's great for mulloway when they turn up. And down off KI, for those listening, we've got the King George off the Bay of Shoals and Snapper and Nanagai out wide. So that's just a brief wraparound for this area. How's things going over your way?
I'm down here in New South Wales. We got mulloway is in full swing. There's plenty out there, so get out there with a live bait or a big squid, and
get the slide baits there either, Mark.
Pardon, mate?
And don't forget the slide bait and fire them off the beaches as well. It works very well.
We got snappers been getting caught, lots of squire, plenty of greenback tailor out there. They're in abundance, so there's plenty of them. And also we're getting the mullet and the salmon out there as well. They're coming in now, so not too bad. It's good fishing at the moment. So there's plenty of flathead still about.
Cool.
Last one I got was 76 centimetres, so yeah, so they're still getting up there with big numbers. So
Well, that's awesome. So are the flatheads still active over there, or are they starting to go out wide to breed? Because I know that different times, like here, they're starting to fire. I know over in Vic, they're starting. The big ones are coming in, but the little ones are heading out. So what's happening over there? Still got the big ones up in New South, or?
Yeah, mate, we're still getting a few big flathead up there at the minute. Like I said, I got a 76 centimetre there not so long back, and a few other people are getting big girls. So yeah, it's still about.
That's awesome.
A couple of weeks back, I don't know, it must have been about 150 small flathead.
Okay. Makes this place look pretty dim at the moment because a lot of our fishing around Metro has slowed right off and it's still starting to recover from that algae bloom. So now, Matt, you got there and you mentioned the live bait sliders.
Yes.
How do you find them? Because we sell them online for Lovell Rigs. We sell them in packs of 3 for $30 with 3 litres of a metre long.
Yep.
How do you find them?
So I use just the metal slide itself. There's a slight kick in the end that has a little lead weight on it. Some of them I've found come with the plastic wrapping that goes around like your Lumo lights, if you follow what I'm saying, where you put them on your line and that. So some of them are even made with that. What I really like about them is that I can go down, mind you, I own a ute, so I have a live bait tank set up in that. I can go down, cast just a grapple sinker, which puts your distance a lot further. You let that bed in, walk up, you grab your live bait, you slide. I make my own rig as such from the slide to the hook. A pre-made rig would probably be a good idea as well. And then you just sending that out. So, look, I like to do it a little bit before dark, just to make sure I get the hang of it. You got to make sure that fish hits the water. But once he's there, he swims to the sinker. So you're on 9 times out of 10 before that fish has even made it to the end of the line. That honestly has been my most successful way of it, and my biggest fish as well has come from it at 1.20 m.
Right.
In saying it, doing it, I'd love to try it more off rock headlands and that. I'm yet just to come up with a place where I can access the live bait and all of that sort of stuff as well.
Right, yeah, because the ones that we do, they don't have the sinker on them. They're just unweighted and then the metal. Do you recommend that the line be 1 metre long, or do you reckon it should be longer or shorter?
We run about 3 foot, so that'd be pretty close.
Yeah.
But I like to look. I don't know if this is just me as a personal preference or not, but fishing with what I'd learned with my dad off the rock headlands and that, we usually keep the leader from the swivel to the hook just shorter than the swivel to the sinker on a paternoster rig, if that makes sense.
Right, yeah. I do my paternosters a little different to most people, so yeah.
That's something that could be personal preference, mate. That's just the way I was taught off Dad. His theory made sense to me. At the end of the day, if your leader to your hook's a bit shorter, you just have that less chance of snagging when we're fishing rock headlands. That's just what I grew up with. I know a lot of people that throw longer leaders from the swivel to the hooks compared to the swivel to the sinker. However, what I have noticed is they tend to be either in the boat or beach a lot more.
Yeah.
But I don't know if that changes anything there.
I guess it's horses for courses, and as they say, if it works for you, don't reinvent the wheel.
Well, that's it. But hey, if you don't reinvent the wheel at the same time, you might not get some of the fish you do catch. So sometimes it's worth a play.
That's it. Dunks, you got anything else you want to add to that one?
Nope. I'm very good with that. That's very informative.
I may have to send you up a couple of slide rigs to try out, Matt, and a couple of our live bait sliders, and you can tell me what you think of them.
Absolutely, mate, and I'd be more than happy to, if I'm successful on them, I'd be more than happy to also promote them. What I believe is, at the end of the day, look, we work hard to find fish, especially, you got your little Jewfish hunters that'll go out at 3 in the morning. I understand that, and why they don't go up spots, but I don't understand why you can't say to someone, here's how you go about it, what you're looking for, etc. They put the time in. So I'm happy to give them a go. If they work, I'll happily pass them out and teach others how to use them too.
That sounds fantastic. So we'll get on to less about me and more about a few other things we've got here. You guys tend to live in one of the best places I know of for flathead, apart from the Great Lakes in Victoria. So let's talk about flatheads on soft plastics. All right. What do you guys find better over there? Do you find the paddle tails or the grubs?
I find any curl tail better, hands down, personally. But Mark likes his hard bodies, I believe, Mark.
Yeah, I like my hard bodies.
So that's a good room for argument. I can't catch a fish on a hard body, yet he catches everything on them. So personally, for me, with the soft plastics, a curl tail, you can cast them wide at the end of the day, and you've got a chance just because of the action.
Yeah.
So easy for kids. I'm really based on about getting the kids, the families out. So if I was to recommend a lure, I would say, and they're starting out outright, curl tail all day, every day.
All right. So, yeah. I have caught redfin on curl tails, but my mulloway have all been on paddle tails.
I have heard of the beaches here chasing mulloway, paddle tail is the way to go.
Right.
I don't do much in the ways of mulloway with lures. When I do have a go for them, I seem to find everything else but that.
Yeah. Dunks, you tend to have a preferred for the hard bodies we know, and I've put a couple up on a few of the reviews I've done, but Pinky was a good one for you, wasn't he?
Yeah, the Pinky was good, really good. He caught 9 different species of fish. It's very sad that he died. He got drowned, hooked up on a log, and never came back up. He's gone, Pinky's gone. So that hard body I cannot get no more. So I do have one left. I can make it one more Pinky.
Right.
So, I've made a few others, but they're not the same. But they still work, but still not the same. Pinky's Pinky.
Yeah. But when it comes to both when it comes to both to hard bodies and soft bodies, retrieval rate matters, speed and that doesn't, guys.
Two completely different speeds when you're trolling or using hard body to soft plastics. Soft plastics are a lot slower than the hard body. So
I've got a really good general rule for an adult fishing with soft plastics. If you're not having a mouthful of your drink in between every couple of lifts, you're retrieving too fast.
Okay.
But in saying that, there are other species that would require a fast one, i.e. kingfish, bonito. So depending on what you're doing, but for your lake species, nice and slow, head weight will always have a big part to play in it. And so also in saying that, the lighter you can go, I find the more successful you will be, no matter what, with the soft plastics. I walked into Hot Tackle the other day and got a lure called a Squid Trex.
Yes.
And I looked at it, I don't know how to use them, never used them, meant to be great. And I asked him, and one of my mates, there was a rule he gave me, and pretty well, it was nearly a gram to the metre, if I remember correctly. So the 80 to 100 gram lure, 100 metres of water, up to 100 metres of water.
Okay.
If I've got it correctly, but there was a simple equation they did, and I was just like, okay, so that instantly gave me the range to look at, but because it does get very overwhelming, I guess. If you walk in and see these new things and there's 200 of them in front of you, what do you do? But soft plastics, heads, always go the lightest weight you can. And like I said, if you're in the lakes, brim and flathead, nice and slow, have a mouthful of a drink in between, have a look at the phone, whatever, chitty chat. But yeah, with a whiting, you need to keep it moving. So
yeah, I've heard that a lot of fish are caught on the drop, not on the lift.
correct. I find most of them are. And something I really have learnt about Lake Macquarie. Now, look, I really like the vibe range. Vibalicious is the name of the lure. I really like them up to about the 90 mils. Now, when we use them, but in the lake, you need to keep that line tight as the lure drops, because whether it be brim, flathead, jewfish, you feel the tiniest tap. And it seems to always be when it's dropping back to the bottom.
Okay.
And that's when you strike. You don't strike, you miss.
I'm mainly a bait fisher. So for those who are actually watching this on YouTube, you see me putting my head down. It's not that I'm not listening to these guys. I'm actually taking notes. So if you can have a look, there is notes on there. So I'm actually taking notes while I'm listening to Matt. So yeah. What about you, Dunks? When it comes to your hard bodies, like I know that you do a lot of trawling in your boat and that, and I know we're going to be talking to Aaron next from Aussie Rattlers about trawling speeds and stuff like that in our next episode. But when it comes to trawling with your hard bodies in your boat around Lake Macquarie and all that, what's roughly your speed that you tend to run at, and what target species do you have?
Well, I'm told with viral speed, so probably 2-3 knots.
Right.
So
That'd make it, what, 6K roundabout?
yeah, roughly about that. So my hard bodies, some of them don't like a fast pace, so they're a lot slower speed. So, but in saying that, once they start swimming, sometimes you can pick up the speed a little bit. But I found that my speed is between the 2 and 3 knots, and that's where I catch my most fish on my hard bodies. So
I run a sounder. Sorry to jump in there. I run a sounder on my boat. As you know, I don't know much at all about hard bodies. When I do use them, I do what I've seen Mark do, and that's trolling them along the boat. I'm running 5 to 7 kilometres. Hence the reason I said about 6K with you. So it's about the same speed. And I find that, yeah, we do well with the tailless salmon. But I use my sounder, so that's the only way I know the speed.
So I just put it in gear, and I start moving forward, and then I bring it back to right to the edge where I'm going to flick it off to neutral, and that's what I know.
Yeah.
When I've trolled hard bodies, it's only been in the kayak, and what I tend to do is try and get enough speed up just to watch the tip of that rod start to vibrate. And once I got that vibrate, from all the TV shows I've watched, that bit of vibrate lets you know that it's got the right swimming action.
It's got the movement that you need, yes.
Yeah.
Without that, something's not right. Either speed, weight on the line, you need to have that bounce.
Yeah, and sometimes it can be very hard to keep that momentum when you're in a kayak doing paddles.
Yes.
So that's another thing we'll speak about with Aussie Rattlers on the next episode. So stay tuned for that one, guys. We're just starting to warm you up. So now, on our next part, possible community comp. So, Dunks, you've probably noticed that we get a couple of questions here and there on the Facebook page, which is called Terminal Banter, the Facebook page. How original. So what I've been thinking is if we can get people to jump in with some questions and some answers, that we put together a prize pack for those people. So we'll put the people the best with questions on one wheel and answers on another wheel, and we'll have one prize for the answer and one prize for the question. What are you thinking about that? We let that run for about 2 months and then we draw it? What do you reckon?
Yeah, other stuff I can throw in.
Yeah, we can do that. Maybe. Yeah, probably let it run for 3 episodes.
3 episodes? Yep, that sounds great.
That episode we'll do the draw.
Yeah, no, that sounds absolutely fantastic. There you have it, guys. I think what we'll do is we'll get Matt to jump in and to help decide what our prize packs are, because he's part of the show. But since he is part of the show, the main reason we got him on is the fact that you actually do a very special program there, Matt.
Yeah, it's interesting how it all came about, and actually where it's led to. I'm surprised to say the least. So look, I started running a page called East Coast Fishing Addiction, which actually I passed on to Mark, because I watched Mark do his pages and was, like I said, that's how I met him. And he was very similar, so I believe that he would have been better with that. However, the reason it all came about was because when I run that page, my father was the only one that sort of put the time in with me with it. Now, Dad passed away, it was actually 2 years ago today. And so I started up Tips and Tackle. And I don't know, it was less Xbox, more tackle box. That's our motto. We're about getting kids out, we're about helping, and just, making it better. I don't like I don't like the intimidation that fishers put on other fishers. I don't like the secrets, and I don't like the kids that stick at home because they don't understand what the outside world is anymore.
Yeah,
if that makes sense.
It makes perfectly good sense. If you notice that a lot of my YouTubes, a lot of my TikToks that I do, it's all about showing what I do and how I do it with tying my rigs. When it comes to fishing spots, I don't have a secret spot. I'll take you fishing. If you want to throw a line there while I'm not there, who cares? It's water, mate. The fish are there or they're not.
That's exactly right. So, and this is the thing, like, I find running a Facebook page, a lot of people look at you, they get a bit funny because they're worried you're going to post this spot, that sort of stuff. It's not about that at all. It's about, like, look, let's just say someone took me out and we caught a Jew fish and that was in their spot. If there was a photo guy, I put a bit home on the ground because it's respect for them. But personally, to me, it's about if I can take anyone out, and they target a fish, get that fish, the smile at the end makes it worth it. That you teach them something. They're not doing the wrong thing. They're not sitting at home. So so this page has literally just gone from, we'll see how it goes in memory of Dad, to we now run. We have fish care on board, which so we do a fishing day once every school holidays. That's fully insured. We have kids comps every single school holidays. Every January we do a big comp, which is for everybody. There is no winning on the biggest fish. It is you enter that fish, you have a shot. Everything is as fair as possible. So we're not interested in the crap with it that's involved in it, if you know what I mean.
Yeah, I do. So there's nothing about the biggest fish, the most amount of fish, nothing about, it's all about, it doesn't matter if you've caught a 2 centimetre brim or a 120 centimetre mulloway, as long as the memory's there.
That's it. So, so as an example, last school holidays we done one, and it was, if they have to have a code word, just so that we know it's validated, that we know that they're getting their kids out rather than putting in old photos. But last one, they had egg. The most if they were creative about it, that gave them a ticket to one section. Being out gives them a ticket. Catching illegal fish gives them a third ticket. But, like, if someone catches a 50-centimetre bream, they've got the same ticket as someone with a 26-centimetre bream, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense.
Yeah, but if they're out, they get a ticket anyway.
Yeah.
Because we want to see them out.
That's the thing. It's all, like I said, it's all about getting out. It's the incentive. It's the equality.
That's it. That's exactly right. Like, I had a fella pull me up the other day. Now, he came to one of our fish days, and it's sort of the first time. It made me realise, look, I'm no gun fisherman, okay? We all have our days we go out and we don't catch anything. But what this guy said to him is what made me think about it. He said, matey, without you doing that fish day, I wouldn't have known what to do. He said the young fella wanted to go buy a rod. Hence the comment earlier about it's overwhelming when you look at a lot of tackle. He goes, I walked in, which rod do I buy? There's so many. So when he came to that day, those kids actually got given a fishing rod through Fish Care. They were taught how to identify and measure fish, look up the species, cast, and they went for a fish, all of that. And just because he got that rod, his kid now hassles him every day. Let's go fishing. And he goes, without that, that would never have happened. Now, that is what makes me keep his pace going.
No, that's mint, mate. That's worth more than all the gold on the planet, man. Just that.
No, that's right. That's right.
My question to you, Matt, is why does it matter to you so much?
Okay. To be 100% honest with that, I got two dads. One's biological, lives around the corner and we don't talk. I've got another one that changed my nappies, who passed away 2 years ago, and he was the opposite. So I remember going down the beach and laughing at him when we come off because we caught all the whiting. and all he said to me was, to see the smile on your face makes it worth it. We were into it. Like, as kids, we were stuck into him. Yeah, whatever. You got to get fished. But I understand it now. And that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
Just pass on the information. Get the kids out. Get anyone out. It doesn't have to be kids. Get people out. Fishing's got a great community. You can go down. You can be on a wharf. Someone has no idea. I met Mark at Dora Creek the first time. He had his ways of fishing. I'm like, cool, here's some plastics. Try them. He in turn gave me some hard bodies back. I'm like, yeah, let's go out and you can teach me. But you got me fine, and that's what I like about it. There should be no hostility. There should be none of that.
No, that's it. That's the problem is here in Adelaide, there are sometimes different locations where people do get nasty. We do have one spot where the salmon runs in and the salmon's that thick that people get there and just throw them on the jetty and cast out again because they're using lures. By the time that school's finished, there's so many different fish on the ground that people are fighting over whose is who.
Yeah, see, it's silly. It's silly. But that also, I personally believe, comes down to, I guess, three facts. And I'll be careful how I word this one. So one would be lack of education. Okay, because we should know better than to catch it, especially if you're keeping it, to catch it. Well, even more so if you're not keeping it, to pull a fish out of the water, chuck it on the warm ground in the sun straight away is unethical if you're gonna let that fish go. And two, if you're gonna eat it, you're not doing yourself any favours. And then it's so education is the moral, and then you just get these people that do the wrong thing. Now, this is a big issue I've tried to address for a long, long time. But again, I still believe it comes down to education. And people will sit there and say, certain races and that sort of stuff. I believe that we're in a country where we've all come together. Okay, and you're always going to have one person do the wrong thing, but I believe that adequate education and treating each other with respect would change a hell of a lot. But for some reason, they get in a group where the fish are on, and there's plenty there. Share, if you know what I mean. Sorry, I'm trying to think of the best way to explain it.
Exactly. The key word you said there is education. We don't have enough. We don't have it in the schools like there was years ago. I remember back when I was in high school, and I'm talking back when I was in Victoria, just started year 7, we had fishing as a sport. At the same time, there was also clay pigeon shooting. So,
yep, and so this is the other thing I don't see enough of is so yes, the government's starting to put them out, and as silly as it is, it's little things. I understand a lot of people can be lazy. There's bits of pipe. We will make them where you screw on the end on the bottom, and you put your line on the top, and it comes out at 90 degrees. So no birds get in there. You know, you drop your line in there, it can be emptied out. The other one that people don't understand, excess line. You roll it up in a loop, you cut it into a couple of pieces through the loop. Birds don't get caught in them. If you're in landfill, that's education with that. And these are the little things we try to point out, tips and tackle, if you know what I mean.
and we also have pockets as well.
Yes. That's what blows me away the most, mate. These people walk down and carry 2 kilo of pillies in, their lunches, all the food. But when the esky comes out, they don't bring the empty plastic back, which is lighter than what they carried in.
Yeah.
That you know, and that's it. So
Also, there's a garbage right beside them, but they'll still throw it on the ground.
yeah, Mark, you fish around my area. You'd know hot water outlet at Eraring Power Station is perfect example. Garbage at each end, and there's more rubbish in the middle. Each end's 100 metres away.
Perfect example right there.
So which power station's this one?
Eraring Power Station. So it's the largest. I don't know if it's the largest power station. It's the biggest one operating on Lake Macquarie Bar.
Yeah, would have to be.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and beautiful spot. You got turtles that come up in there. You got the eagle rays that jump out of the water. You get sharks in there. They catch herring, GTs, brim, flathead. They get everything there. But just the lack of respect for the area. And again, education. But how do we fix this when we got 2 fisheries officers that patrol the whole Central Coast?
Once again, that comes down to funding as well. And okay, here in South Australia, we don't have a licensing scheme. Now, I'll probably cop a lot of crap for this, but I believe that we should have one. But it needs to be ran properly. And obviously, if you've only got 2 fisheries agents there for the whole Central Coast, then the money that you guys, that the government collects over there for the fishing licenses that you guys have to have is not being used correctly.
No, it's not.
So therefore, it's not just us wreck fishers that need to get there and pay our license and that. It's also up to the fisheries. It's up to the government to actually utilise that money properly and not move it into roads or NDIS or whatever else they've got going on at the time.
100% agree. And I'm all for scientific research purposes. Flathead, for example. I'm all for if that fish over a certain size is this big breeder, and how they've done this. I am all for that. But then when you see, like you're saying, the funding going into the wrong direction, people start questioning why they bother. I mean, when it comes to that's where the issues come in. It's an interesting one, but again, that comes back to the government side of it, the political side, and I'm not sure how we'd go about fixing that. But again, education. If everyone was just cluey or smart enough, and those that didn't understand were taught properly, then we wouldn't even need the fisheries. People would use bins. They wouldn't be lazy. This whole catching a rock cod or a sweep and it's not your edible target species, will throw it on the rocks. It's unethical. It's not a good look.
No.
So if we can teach people that we don't have, I'll say the grannies, so to speak, saying you're being cruel. Because how can you say we're not being cruel when you get someone throwing 20 fish up on the rocks?
Oh, exactly. And they're not going to get there, and they see a person with a rod in their hand. And they're not going to be able to see who exactly it is at the time. And you're there, you got the rod. Those fish are being there. We get similar when it comes to carp at different areas around here. There's a caravan park down south on one of the lakes. I won't name it. But though they find that a lot of carp just get left up on the bank when there's been bins placed around. And it's not a good look for the caravan park.
No,
it's not a good look for fishers.
That's it, and we don't. I don't know what the law is down there. I am actually under the impression it's changed in New South Wales, and I could be wrong, but I'm sure it used to be you had to kill them, and you don't have to now, but you're advised to.
Yeah, no, you're right. The rules have changed in New South Wales. You can't throw them back now.
Yes. However, okay, I disagree with throwing them back.
Yes,
my personal opinion. And Mark, I've seen some of the cod you've caught. You understand the damage the carp do.
Yeah.
But at the same time, if you're going to go and just throw them on the bank, well, it's not only the bad look, you attract the wildlife. So you get the foxes around, you got the farmers who have their chooks and their livestock around. So it all leads on.
No, it does.
And again, it comes back to one word.
And then probably bury it or bin it.
Yeah. Mate, honestly, okay, so we've got a spot around the corner here. There's two things I do with my carp that I catch. Shark bait. Sorry, I lied. There's three things. There's shark bait, crab bait, or fertiliser. And I can tell you what, you put that in the garden, your veggies love you for it.
Well, that's funny you say that. I love catching carp. Love it. I reckon mud marlin is one of the most fun things to catch and great to get kids on for for beginning. They fight well. They take the bait well. They're just absolutely awesome. Over here in South Australia, it's kill and it's illegal to return. Which is no problems to me. You get your pots, cut your carp up, bury it in a pot of soil, give it 3 months, plant your tomatoes, and you're going to get some of the best tomatoes you've ever gotten. Strip bait. They are one of the best strip baits I find. And not only just for flathead, tailor, salmon, but though carp will eat themselves. You can use a thin bit of carp, throw it on your hook, and you'll catch carp on carp.
There you go.
So,
taught me something.
I've got a...
The other day, and said it was absolutely pretty good, actually. So
Eating it?
Yeah.
I've eaten it once. I was a young fella. I had a Filipino lady cook it up for me. Again, I was young. Don't hold this against me. But I thought it was beautiful, Like, I really did.
I've never caught one, so...
Mate, when you catch one and you smell it, you'll understand why you throw it away. But this was nice.
Well, as I say, it doesn't matter what it is. If you get somebody who knows how to cook it, it will always come up trumps. If you don't know what you're doing... Yeah.
Just like that, Lewis.
Yes.
So you're from South Australia?
Yep.
Yeah, okay, so down there is some restaurants that make it a delicacy. And yes, as for the Dunks Lewis things, the carp will eat his little diving lures too.
Yeah, they will. Now, talking about over here, we actually have a company over in Meningie called Coorong Seafood, I believe. And they catch carp out of Lake Albert. They say there's a special way of killing them so they don't get that smell and taint through their meat. I can't remember exactly how they do it.
Do they ikishimi it?
They could do. It's last time I spoke to the guys from Coorong. It's had to have been at least 6-7 years ago. So, and they met them in Lake Albert. So I cannot remember, because I know they go out, they put the nets out, they don't leave them out long, and they cull them in a certain way so it doesn't stress them out and release the smell and the taint through the meat.
Yeah, right. That's interesting. See, that's what I love about it. Like, I noticed Mark was out Port Stephens not long ago. I'm born and bred in a Bay Boy, so that's sort of where I grew up. And he kept the shovel-nosed sharks. They're another underrated eating fish. They are beautiful.
Oh my God. Absolutely delicious.
You know, and this is what people don't understand. It just depends on what you catch. And I've never found a good way to cook a silver drummer, so they can just go back. But other than that, like 99% of the fish that you catch, you can make a new way. And again, back to the page, that's what like Australian salmon. You either get people that love it or call it garbage. There's no in between.
Well, you're right there. My other half, Danny, she loves the stuff. You go and hand it to my brother Eggs over in Vic, who eats flathead and whiting all the time. He'd turn around and tell you, get there and shove it where the sun don't shine, because he won't eat that rubbish.
Yeah, and the missus. So I have a friend that runs a brewery, who's actually a sponsor of our page, and he's American, and he's like, nope. No way. So my wife will make it in either the patty or a pie. And the difference is one's breadcrumbed and one's not. And they love it. But then people see it. And so when you got 4,000 people that look at it, and one or two go, how'd you do that? You put a recipe up, and you change 2, 3, 4 people. How hard is it to go catch a salmon off the beach when they're running? And then you've just given a family a feed for 2 nights.
Well, the salmon will eat anything, just like a tailor. And
that's right.
If you want to get there and confuse people, just call it a car wine.
A car wine, yeah. People spin out, eh?
Call them a car wine. Take it from our New Zealand counterparts over there.
That's it. That's exactly right. The ones that are over there seem to be babies, but
yeah.
So they use their ones as bloody kingfish for live bait.
Yeah. So, now...
Kingfish for live bait?
So, no. They use their salmon for live bait for the kingfish.
Yeah,
so,
and they're not using
the
small...
fish we take home to eat is their bait.
Crikey.
Yeah. There's a few good YouTubes on it, man. So now let's get back to the topic in hand, which is your program. With teaching kids and keeping them out there. So how do you keep it fun for them and avoid the overcomplication?
With great difficulty. So the way I've learned with this page now, and bear in mind the other page that Mark's now doing, it was a good learning curve. I have myself and my wife as an admin, my mother and brother who are moderators, and a couple of very close friends. That's it. Everybody works together, comes up with ideas. Zara is a moderator. She actually won a competition once. She's the one that does fish care. Come to me. A bit of luck has also come my way. I've got another lady. I won't mention her name just because I haven't got permission as such. But she runs the local newsletter. So she's got us in that. So in turn, that all opened up a lot. And I have to say Hot Tackle have been a massive help too. And that opened up a lot. So Hot Tackle originally were doing what I'd call the mystery box, which is X amount of soft plastics for $50. But you didn't know what you were going to get. I went in and I bought one. They handed me an extra box and said, hand it out. That's how it started. Now we are getting mentions in local newsletters, possibly getting a haul to use. Fish Care have come on board. So it's about I'm not any more thinking about next school holidays, but I'm trying to think about 3 in front.
Right.
If we slack off as such, I find it all drops. But if we can keep people interested, as people are realising that this page is about, hey, we're not taking like any silly games. You want to be silly on the page, you're out. Kids can read it, and it's about the kids. We are getting that many members, but we have to keep it in front. But that's where I also want feedback off, whether it be you guys, members, whoever, and say, hey, you can do this or you can do that. It doesn't mean we're going to change, but everything comes into consideration. We try to, keeping it fun is the main thing. So we do 3 competitions every month. One is a random call out. And that doesn't have to be because you posted the biggest fish. You might have just jumped on and went, yeah, this is how you catch a bream, mate, and tried to help someone. That's what we're about. So Lex and I, we done a lure box handout. It was over the memories. But I want families in it. I want the community in it, because I believe when you get a community, my best memories with my family, my dad and that, is down the beach off the rocks. So I then also remember, and ironically today, went past the old hall at Anna Bay, pointed out to my kids and said, that's my old fishing club. That is what I want to create, if you follow what I'm saying. The community coming together. Everybody has a great time. I don't necessarily want to do a weigh-in because it means people have to kill the fish. I believe if you want to take a fish home and eat it, you can, but you shouldn't have to kill it if you don't want to. So we teach with brag mats down. Take a photo on the brag mat. But just keep it moving. Got to keep it moving. And you know what? Once one kid sees another kid winning, I've noticed there's the encouragement. So young Zoe is now pretty well the face of Tips and Tackle. 11 years old, never caught a fish in her life. I took her out once, and now she's landed flatted up at 96 centimetres. In turn of saying that, we've had other kids. Xander, who was the Brewers boy, his sister now goes fishing. His 3 friends or so go fishing. And so it's working. And this is where people like Mark also really help, because they got the same thing in mind. So if we can keep the groups working together, the right groups in saying that, that's how we do it. There's a lot of planning, but there's no plan, if that makes sense.
It does. I actually started a fishing club a few years back out at Elizabeth. We called it New Age Fishing, and then we changed the name to Playford Fishing and Outdoors. I left that a while back, let somebody else take it over, and the kids had come in, never caught a fish, and them catching the fish was absolutely amazing. I found that better to me than going, look at me, I've started the fishing club. It's more like, hey, I've provided the ability for this kid to learn to do this, to now be able to do that. And that to me was more rewarding than the fame of being known for that. Now, with saying that, if it comes to it, you need any advice or any help setting up, give us a yell. I'm happy to give you some advice. If you want anything videoed, like tying rigs or whatever for the club, let me know. I will do it for you. And once a month for the club, Lovell Rigs will provide you guys a lure box combination of underground tackle, outfox, and some Lovell Rigs stuff.
Mate, that would be absolutely awesome.
So once you get your club going, let us know, and we'll be on board with doing that type of stuff for you.
Mate, Mate, that sounds awesome. And see, and this is what I'm finding. The more we're being like genuine, see, this is what I love about it. Genuine, upfront, communication, transparency. Biggest words I can go by with it. And I have found some of the best people in 40 years of being alive by this, you know what I mean? The amount of people that come together to just try and help. Like I said, Mark's given me a heap of hard-body lures. I can't use them, but I've kept one of each of them because I know I will at each occasion. However, I also slip a couple into the kids' prizes. I slip in the Steve's on leave. Uses soft plastics. I'll slip a couple in. I'm not going to go and mention sponsors and such right now, but you know, it's these guys, yourself, that come together that make everything possible. And so I really believe we can make more of the fishing world in the right way. It depends on who you ask. Our stigma's either really, really good or really, really bad. And look, we can't change everyone's mind, but we can show people that we can do the right thing.
No,
we can get kids out.
That's it. Now, another thing is, when you get your club going, you're going to need a first aid kit. So Level Rigs First Aid Supplies will supply you guys with a snake bite kit and a basic first aid kit for the club as well.
No, mate, that's awesome, hey, and I'll have to work something out to help you guys out in return.
Mate, you come on the podcast. That's great. We love, myself, I'm very big with trying to push for the community to grow when it comes to fishing, particularly with the kids. I know Dunks is the same. That's why we've got to get Matt on for the next, for episode 2. And so, yeah, I'm so glad we have got you on.
I was nervous as, mate. I'm not going to lie. I do all these videos. I do everything. I was nervous as, but it's been a pleasure. It really has.
Yeah.
It's been a pleasure having you on, Matt. And you run a great page, mate. And I take my hat off to you. We all do.
No, you do the same, mate. And that's it. So
keep it up.
You'll have to get over to New South Wales, buddy, and I'll teach you how to use your slide bait rigs off the beach with you and Mark, eh?
Yeah, I haven't been. I used to live in Newcastle many, many years ago, and Redhead Beach is my favourite spot for beach fishing. Absolutely loved it. Don't see many people fishing Redhead much anymore. Stockton was always overcrowded when the Taylor were in.
Yeah, I'm an Anna Bay boy, so Stockton Beach was me.
Yeah.
Redhead Beach, honestly, I don't know it at all. I've don't really know Blacksmiths, but I'm getting there. I live in Bonnells Bay, so
yeah, I used to live out at Waratah West.
Yeah, nice.
So I'd fish the break walls. I'd fish all that stuff. To say I miss the place is an understatement. If you ask my other half how many times a week saying, I've got to move back, we've got to move back to east, we have to move back east, she'd say if she had $1, she'd be a millionaire in a week. So I've got family in Coffs, and I enjoy fishing Coffs, but nowhere near as much as I've enjoyed fishing Newcastle. Swansea, there at the bridge. I remember years back I hired a canoe out of one of the places down near the bridge. This is going back in the 90s, and I tried to get the line down, and I reckon I caught more snapper on the way down, like trying to drop bait. I caught more squire down than anything else, and I got bored and went home because I got sick of catching squire.
Yeah, it's funny how it works, isn't it? You get one, you're stoked, and then it's like, you know those grassy, what do you call them? Spangled emperor.
Yep.
I went out of Swansea, I was fishing the rock wall there in the Sydney. It was actually Zara, the lady from Fish Care. First time she ever came on the boat with me. I don't know, 15 hours that weekend. You know, I got 10 spangled emperor about, 9 centimetres long. 15 hours. But hey, I caught a spangled emperor. Never got one before. I was over it by the time I got 5, but...
I look at it this way. It doesn't matter if the fish is 5 centimetres or it's 120 centimetres. Every fish is different. Like I've caught mulloway 60 centimetres on a lure, and I've caught them at 70 centimetres on bait. And
It's a buzz either way.
the 60 centimetre one sticks in my mind the most because I got that on a white paddle tail in the kayak, and it just felt like a dead weight as I brought it up. And as I come up to the side of the kayak, I saw the purple, and it just rolled and looked at me and went, "Yeah, not yet," and took off. And that was when the fight happened. It basically come up to the top, looked, rolled, and ran.
I only caught one on a lure, and it was on a white jerk shad
Yeah.
with a forktail under Kura Bridge, and he was probably about the same, 60. He was actually, it would have been smaller because back then the size limit was 60. So it probably would have only been 50. But I tell you what, it is still the only one I caught on a lure, and one of the ones that stick to my memory the most.
Yeah, no, all mine have gone back because I've been told that anything under 70 tastes like soap. That's why they're called soapies.
Anything under 70 is technically illegal.
Yeah.
Well, in New South Wales.
Certain spots you can have them different sizes, but yeah, anything under 70, I've been told they taste like soap. So it's like,
Well, I'll be 100% honest with you. When I first started, I'm 40 years old. When I first started targeting, I believe it was 50 or 55. So I remember him being 45 at one stage. That's disgustingly small for a G-fish when you think about it. But at the age of, I was about 18, they were like that 50 or 55 mark, if I remember correctly. And I was catching them just legal at Kurua. And I loved every single bit of them. But in saying it, I don't know now because, I haven't eaten one under that 70. Soapy is the reason they called it. Then they go to the school. But a really interesting fact. People say they can smell G-fish. Have you ever heard that?
I have. I've heard that, and I've also been shown schools of Jewfish because you can actually see the bronze colour in the water.
So why can you smell Jew?
That's
a good question.
Got me beat there because I've been told, but I've never actually smelled it. So I've only been shown the colour in the water.
What they do is they will swim up the gutter of a beach and release a smell. This is my understanding of it. And hey, I'd love to hear anybody's comment on it, but my understanding is they swim up the beach in the gutter and release a smell. The beach worms come up because they think it's a dead fish. They swim back down the gutter and eat the beach worms.
Burley. They create their own burley. Okay.
They create their own smell. That's what I've always been under the impression of. But yeah, so if anyone can correct me on that, I would love to know about it.
Very interesting.
Yeah. It's just, and this is it. I love hearing everyone's ideas on it. Fish don't read textbooks, you know. And my biggest, we talk about our happiest days of fishing. My biggest upset was I spent a full night on the jetty at Kurua catching live squid. The next morning, I went through live squid. Do you think I could catch a mulloway? Yet some bugger walks up beside me, dead set pulled a piece of mullet right up off the rock wall. Mate, the thing would have been 30 pounds. How does that work? How does that work?
Do you want to know what's even worse than that?
What's that?
When you're sitting in a tinny, your pa's at the back catching fish, your brother's at the front catching fish, and you're in the middle catching nothing. Then you swap,
that sounds like a trip when you and Mark go. Mark will catch him, I'll catch him, and you'll be in the middle.
I swapped spots with my brother to go up the front of the boat. He went to the middle. I caught nothing. He caught fish. And it was like that was frustrating.
That's insane, isn't it? How it works.
It is. But
it is.
That's why it's called fishing.
No, that's right. But hey, get the kids out and enjoy it. That's it.
That's it. So
Mark sold his kayak then because it was a paddle kayak, so I understand your pain of keeping your lure moving.
Speaking of kayaks, what about kayak fishing growth? I mean,
Yeah,
it's getting more popular.
it is.
Kayak fishing, yes.
And the thing is, there's a lot of different kayaks out there that you can access. Like even little kids' kayaks for fishing are out there as well.
Yeah, do you understand how scary Lake Macquarie is on a kayak boat off?
I know the wind can get up at Lake Macquarie and make things a little bit.
Oh, not the wind, not the wind. The wind's your friend. It's the thing that swims under the water level.
What, those little bull sharks that you've got up there?
Oh, those little baby ones, yeah.
Yeah, don't worry about them.
Yeah, no.
I chased one of them a couple of weeks back.
Yeah, so I didn't in Sydney. That's why I like Sydney. I watch people swimming. I'm like, yeah, nah.
Yeah, but in areas, you'll find areas where there's not a lot, there's not a lot of sharks around. Even your freshwaters, reservoirs. A lot of people are getting into the kayaks.
Yes, no, that's correct. And mate, like honestly, I love me kayak fishing. It is so different. Like, okay, so we've got a river system here called Wyong River. Mark would probably know it quite well. Mark, I believe, you fish up Seam Way, which would be the back of the Hunter River at the end of the day. Wyong River's sort of closer to me. And you know what? Like I said, I've never caught a fish on a diving lure. Everyone laughs at me. I can catch bass on a surface lure, and people go, how do you do that, but you can't get one on a diver? They're meant to be easier. Well, they're not. But to paddle up a freshwater creek, see the lizards on the logs, the birds, the bugs, everything, I don't care if I don't catch anything. And like I'm saying, you take someone up there. Like let's say Mark's never done it. I take Mark up there just once. He goes, oh, I like this. So he goes and buys a kayak, and then he takes his kids up there. But then his kids might take their kids up there. Job's done, isn't it?
It is. It is.
I know.
But you also got to get there and make sure you maintain the safety issues, have the right life jackets and everything.
Yes. 100%.
I do believe, I know here in South Australia, it's people under 12 are not allowed to have a inflatable. I think it's 12 or 14 aren't allowed to have an inflatable life jacket, which is a good idea.
That's a good idea because they would panic and not pull the cord.
Yeah.
So. That's right. And that's how a lot of people, even whether they're 10, 20, 60. I mean, we had another guy go on the other week off Snapper Point, okay? I'm not trying to be mean or point things that I mean like this, but come on. It's 4.5 metres swell, most notorious spot one of the most notorious spots on the east coast. The first time I ever came here was when I moved down from Manor Bay. I went, oh wow, they got a sign. They've had 5 deaths this year. They changed the number on the sign. That says a lot to me. These guys fish at 4.5 metres swell, right? Now, so getting back to the whole kayak, the law in New South Wales, if I remember correctly, states you do not need a life jacket over the age of 16 if you are under 100 metres from the shoreline. Again, I believe education. Life jackets have come a long way. Back in the 70s, you had a big yellow square chunk of foam over. I can wear my life jacket now. It's a mine personally is a pull cord, but my boy can wear his normal. You know, they got the foam in them.
Yeah.
If I remember correctly, they're like your PDF 100 and 150s, different stages. You should not be in the water without a life jacket.
Exactly.
Right.
And
you come off, hit your head, anything. I'm epileptic, okay? So if I have a seizure, I'm not going to say that the life jacket will save me, but if I have a seizure and I've got one where I need to inflate it, what chance have I got? Let alone a little kid that is just freaked out to get in the water. Just wear a life jacket.
Saying that, Matt, there are life jackets now that self-inflate.
Yes, correct. And that's what I mean by, like, you choose the correct life jacket. wear a bloody life jacket. They're not hard.
No,
And again, it comes to education.
Exactly. Now, when you said you picked the right jacket, well, it actually tells you on it 50s, 100s, 150s. I think the numbers are.
That was the one I was thinking of. But it is the 50s where it starts from, isn't it?
50 is actually an inland. It's not.
That's correct. It's like Glenbourne or
Exactly.
Sorry, I don't know.
Glenbourne
I don't
Dam,
know lakes there.
Hunter River, reservoirs like here we've got Bundalier, we've got Maiponga reservoirs, just to name two of them. That's where we use our 50s. It's also, they use them for jet skiing and all the stuff like that. So the Murray River, any of those rivers like that. When you get to your 100s and your 150s, that's when you look at where you are in the boat. So to get there and go from, if I take the tinny out and I go up to, I think it's up to 2Ks, 3Ks from the shore is 100. Anything after that is your 150.
Yes, that's. I believe you're correct. I would have to recheck the ruling, but
It could be up to 5. It could be up to 8Ks, 5Ks, 8Ks. I'm not 100% sure.
2 nautical miles out in New South Wales, 2 nautical miles out, everything changes. That's when you need EPIRBs and stuff like that.
Exactly.
So I learned this one the hard way, right? I went out. We had a couple of 50s on. We're in the lake. And there's a big yellow sign. Mark would probably know it on Lucy's Breakwall, Swansea Head. And it says, "Do not pass this point without the correct life jacket. You are doing a bar crossing." We were drifting. Tide was running out. We were getting stuff. So we're like, "Oh, we can push it." It was me and my mate Nick. Now, Nick ran East Coast with me as well. Maritime caught me pretty quick. They were there in no time. Pulled us up. While they're talking to us, they're like, "Mate, all it takes is one wave." Like, the guys are really, really good. But he's like, "All it takes is one wave. You lose your balance." As he said it, my mate lost his balance, hit the bucket, ate it. That's all. He ate it. And the guy just looked at us and went, "Yeah, just like that." So my biggest recommendation to anybody is just buy the bigger life jacket straight off the bat.
Not
Because they don't, like I said, they don't expect us. I can wear it. You just got to have it over the top. You can wear it anywhere and everywhere. Just put the bigger one on, because what's the worst that's going to happen? You're going to have more protection than is required at worst.
Yeah, no, 100%. And for those who are looking for kayaks in Adelaide, we don't deliver, but we do get there, and we do stock on our website kayaks to fish kayaks, which are really, really good. And we'll talk more about kayaks to fish with Aaron on the next one. Yeah.
So you do kayaks and equipment yourselves?
We sell them online, yes.
Can you pass on information onto... So I'll get everything so you're pre-approved. If you could pass any form of safety information, whether it be kayaks, boating, feel free to advertise that on our page too.
Yeah, I can.
We're doing that there because that's what we're about.
I can promote the safety stuff that we know of and all that. Not a problem. So that's easy enough done. As I said, I'm even happy to do little clips on tying rigs and stuff like that, not just for your club, but I'll also pass them through for you to get there and check off to post up on your page for tips and tackle as well. I do have one tip that I love to give out, so I'll do another video on that, just a short one for you to put up on your Facebook page. It's about tying hooks on.
No worries at all. And if there's anything I can assist you with, make sure you sing out.
Well, I don't know if Mark will get there and... Oh, it looks like we've lost the boys. I will leave it there, I think, for tonight. I'm that rig guy. This has been Terminal Banter. We lost Mark and Matt. We'll get there and try and get... here we go. We've got them back. And you're back on air, Mark.
I am here. Now we just got to get Matt.
Yep, I was just about to do a sign-off, but though it's all good. False evidence there, guys. Something went wrong in the technical. I love technical stuff. Okay. We're not going to have dead air here. So as I was saying, that Lovell Rigs, we get there and we do kayaks to fish kayaks. At the moment, everything we got access to is online. Anything that you guys want to get there and find out if we can get hold of, just get there and let us know. Contact us on the page and we'll get back to you. And is that you back, Dunks?
Yeah, I'm back now.
Okay.
I couldn't get hold of Matt.
Okay, so I don't know about you, Dunks. I'm just thinking maybe it'd be great to get Matt back on again as a bit of a regular throughout Terminal Banter as the time goes on, to keep us updated on everything that's going on with the club and his page and all that.
Yeah, definitely sounds good to me.
Yeah. So there was one thing he said at the 56-minute mark, which was about the smell of the mulloway and going up the beach with the sandworms.
Yeah.
I was thinking, why don't we put a lure pack together for somebody who comes up with the best answer for that?
Yeah, that sounds good.
So we'll get there and I'll advertise that on the Facebook page tomorrow. I'll advertise this on the 2nd, which is going to be when we release these now. Will be the 2nd of every month. So this has been recorded on the 1st. This will be edited and put up tomorrow. On the 2nd. So on the 2nd, the comp will be put up, and we'll let that run for a whole month for that one, and then we'll discuss about the other one a little bit later and work out which is the best way to go for the way in the comp.
Yep, sounds good.
Awesome. So one thing, you caught a really nice looking fish on the weekend. What was it?
That was an 81 centimetre Murray cod, mate.
Yeah.
That's my favourite fish to catch. And our machine.
Yeah. And you said that there was a little story behind that. You're doing something. This is a typical scenario that I'm pretty sure it happens to everybody. What were you doing when this fish hit?
I was testing a fishing lure that I built for the salt water. It's a saltwater spinnerbait. And I was testing that as the fish hit, and the rod come down and smacked me on the head. So that was funny, actually. Didn't know what to do. I was panicked and threw me rod up on the bank, and caught the fish.
So if you want, go to Tight Lines Australia Facebook page, and you'll see it in its all its glory. Beautiful fish, though, man. Well, it was well done.
That was a beautiful fish, and she went back safely and smoothly, and to live another day. I don't like keeping Murray cod, so
they're too beautiful. As I've said to you many times, I have not caught one yet. I've caught plenty of yellows, plenty of silvers, plenty of redfin. Never caught a Murray cod, and it doesn't frustrate me, but it's something I'd love to get there and just say I've done. And I'm happy to just catch one, and that's it. My daughter has even caught them, and I'm quite happy that she's caught them. It's great to see. She's 22 now, my youngest, and I had her fishing at 7, 8 years old, catching carp at Meningie. My oldest daughter, I remember taking her fishing when she was 3 or 4, and she lost about $150 worth of fishing gear off the rocks. She dropped the tackle box, passed it up to her. She didn't quite grab it, and it fell, opened up, and into the water went about $150 worth of gear, and it was just too high up to get anything down, or get anything back. I managed to get the box back, and that's about it.
Well, at least you got the box back.
Yeah. But,
It's a learning curve.
Oh, exactly. And it was also the same time we actually found out that little sand rays actually live birth, not egg birth. So that was interesting.
Yes, they definitely are.
Yeah, well, I didn't know that until, what? She's 24 now, so that's 24 years ago. Or 20 years ago I found that out.
Christ.
My youngest is 22. So, yeah.
Yeah, well, I found out maybe about 20 years ago.
Yeah.
So same, I'm still learning. Everyone still learns. There's no two ways about that.
Yeah. Oh, man, we're getting up to the hour and 15-minute mark, man. So I reckon what we should do, bro, is we'll let these people go, and we'll wrap it up. What do you say?
All right. Yep, let's wrap it up. And, we'll look forward to the next episode.
Next episode, episode 3, we'll have Aaron from Aussie Rattlers.
Yes.
And episode 4, we've got locked in as well for our special guest.
Yes, we've got a couple of special guests for our episode 4.
Yep, and then I believe come somewhere between maybe 5 or 6, we've got some extremely special guests.
Yes, we do. And that's going to be a very exciting episode.
Yep. So, I'm that rig guy. That's Dunks. Get out and get amongst it. Until next time, catch you later.
Alright. See you guys.
Alright, legends, lines are in for the day. Sun's getting low, time to make the run back. From our tinny on the tide to yours, catch ya on the next episode of Terminal Banter.